Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to deploy a wireless network just by using Cisco Packet Tracer. And this is going to be very helpful in case you are studying for your Cisco CCNA, or in case you're studying for Cisco ENCOR, just like I am right now. So we're going to see in this video how to deploy a wireless network by using access points, and also how to use wireless LAN controllers. Now, if you're new to Cisco wireless or wireless networks at all, what we want to do is to mimic a wireless network to be deployed in an office environment. So it's like we have different environments or different departments, such as IT department, finance department, and HR department, and we have a router that will be used as the default gateway in case we want to reach outside networks. And in these departments, we're not allowed to use cables, we're not allowed to use wired networks, and we should only use wireless. So that's why we're using access points. So access point is what allow us to connect to wired networks in case we have wireless devices such as laptops, tablets, or mobile phones. Okay, now we also have a wireless LAN controller to manage all of these access points, because when we are deploying a wireless networks, we can manage the access points individually, or we can manage centrally all of the access points by using a wireless LAN controller. Okay, and we're going to see how to manage those access points using the wireless LAN controller 2504. Now for this topology we'll be using the following subnet. So the network will be let's use 172.16.0024, and the SSID, so that's going to be the name that the clients will see to connect to the wireless network. It's going to be Wi-Fi network, just to make it simple. Actually, let's make it Wi-Fi office. Okay, and our default router will be the router, and we're going to use on some devices static IP address, and on the other we'll be using dynamic IP address. So for the router we will assign the IP address 172.16.0254, and on wireless LAN controller we'll assign the IP address 200, and on the PC we use 201. For everything else we'll assign dynamic IP addresses. And also we're going to restrict or to limit the number of IP address, or the range that will be assigned to users. So we're going to use a range from 172.16.01 to 172.16.0. Let's select 99. Okay, so let's begin by configuring our router to be our default gateway and also the DHCP server. Now let's go to configuration mode. Let's start by changing the host name to be RT office, just router office, and I want to enable logging synchronous, so this will prevent the logs to display on top of what I'm typing. Okay, so let's go to interface. So that should be actually G01, and the IP is going to be 16.0254/24, and we want to enable the interface, and it's up. And so now let's begin by excluding or creating the range of IP address that we don't want to assign to our clients. So the command should be exclude address from 172.16.100 to 172.16 should be 0. Why am I using 1? Okay, and 172.16.024. Okay, so now let's begin creating our DHCP pool, and we'll name this as office network. and the network will be 172.16/24, and the default router will be 172.16.0254. Okay, so this is done. The router is completed. So now let's jump to the wireless LAN controller, and we'll go to config tab, and here on the management we want to change the IP address to be 172.16.0200, and we want to change the subnet mask as well, and set the default gateway to be the router IP address, and we can close this. Okay, so now actually I want to change something on the switch. I want to make all this switch first to work as spanning tree mode rapid PVST, and I want to enable port fast by default on access ports. So spanning tree port fast default. So this way the ports they will be enabled, they will transition to the forwarding state in less time. Okay, so let's go to our PC and assign also a static IP address. So that's going to be 172.16.0201, 255.255.250, and the default gateway is 172.16.0254. Now, first thing first, let's see if we can reach our default router, and we can. What about the controller? So should be able to reach, and ping is successful. Okay, now to start managing the wireless controller, we have to use a graphical user interface using the web browser. Now let me just walk you through the process of managing the access points and managing the wireless LAN controller. Now when we start configuring the wireless LAN controller, it will be kind of listening for access points. Okay, so right now you can see that the interface is red. It means the interface they are disabled. They're not disabled because the interface is disabled, the device is actually powered off. So when we power on these devices, we want them to discover the wireless LAN controller dynamically. Okay, so first thing first, we'll begin the configuration of wireless LAN controller, and then we're going to enable those access points. So we go to web browser, and be patient because these might be a little bit too slow. So we use the address http:/172.16.0200. Okay, now if you see that it's taking too long, just be patient, because if you notice here, the ports, they are blinking. Okay, and the page is here, so let me extend this a little bit. Okay, so first thing first, we have the wireless LAN controller configuration page. Okay, let's start by creating an admin account. So I'll create the admin Selesium, and I'll set the password. Now let's start the configuration. So the system name, so that's going to be the wireless LAN controller host name. So I'm just going to keep it to Cisco WLC, and we also want to type the management IP address to be the same one that we are using. So in this case, it is 172.16.0200, and the subnet mask is going to be 24, and the gateway 172.16.0254. Now let's click on next. The employee network, so we're just going to enable one network, and that's going to be the employee. So the network name, that's going to be actually the SSID. So we're just going to name this as employee network, and we can change these later. So just going to use this as an example, and we're going to set the passphrase to be CCIE 65745, and we're going to confirm CCIE 65745. Okay, everything else we're going to leave as default. just leave it, and we're going to apply. Now it is going to show us this warning that is going to reboot. Okay, we're just going to confirm that, and it's going to reboot the controller. Okay, so meanwhile you can see that it will start to blink, so I'm going to close this, and just to make sure that we don't wait for too long, let's just send some ICMP packs, and it looks like it's already back. Okay, oh, that's great. It was faster than I was expecting. So let's see if it's already back online. So let's open the web browser and navigate to the same address again. Okay, so now it's taking a little bit. Okay, so let's see. HTTP 172.16.0200, and now we have this message, so server reset connection. So this is actually saying that now we have to use HTTPS. Okay, so you can see that we are able to see the wireless LAN controller configuration page. So let's log in with the admin account we just created. Okay, and we should be inside the main dashboard of the wireless LAN controller, and we are. Now, as you can see, this is the main dashboard, and right now it doesn't have any access point discovered. So let's do this now. So let's start with IT access point. So first thing first, we have to power on this device. So we're going to drag this power cord. Okay, now we navigate to config, and you can see the port on the switch just changed from amber to green, and it was already assigned an IP address. We can see that it now received the DHCP address and knows the default gateway address. So we can confirm this also. You can see it's using the IP 172.16.02. Now let's do the same for finance access point. So let's power on by dragging this. Okay, and if we go to config, it was assigned an IP address as well. And finally, HR access point. Let's power on this. Okay, and if we go to config, it should be assigned an IP address as well. So let's just confirm that. So this is 5, this should be 4, actually 3, and this is 2. Okay, so the access points, they were assigned an IP address, so it means that they should have been discovered from our wireless LAN controller. So let's see, let me refresh this, and it's taking some time. We can see that it is negotiating. So yep, we can see that now it has a total of 3 access points discovered. Okay, and we can also take a look at, let's go wireless. Now just be patient because this graphical user interface, it's a bit slow, and you can see we have 3 access points. We have IT, HR, finance, and their respective IP addresses. And for instance, if we go to one of these access points, you'll notice that right there on says cap web, so that's the tunnel established between the access point and the wireless LAN controller, and it says it's connected. So we want to see that status as connected, and also we want to change the SSID to Wi-Fi office. So if you pay attention to employee network, so we have employee network and between parentheses employee network. So that's the profile name and the SSID name. So how do we change that? So if we go to wireless LAN, now there are some things that we can change just by using Packet Tracer, but there is a lot that we can't do. So just take notice of this. So let's click on wireless LAN ID. Okay, as you can see, this is the profile name, employee network, and SSID employee network. So we want to change the SSID to be Wi-Fi office. Okay, and we want to apply. So it's going to show us this warning. We're going to confirm that. Okay, and it was applied. So now if we go back to our access points, we should see that now the SSID name was changed to Wi-Fi Office. And at this moment we are using the same SSID, which means that if one of these devices goes to a different department, it would still have network access because the SSID is the same. Okay, let's begin configuring those devices, the end devices. So we'll begin with the tablet PC. So if you navigate to config wireless 0, and we want to change the default SSID to be Wi-Fi, so that's capital Wi-Fi Office, and we want to enable authentication to be WPA2 PSK, and our passkey is going to be CCNA 65745, so it has to match what we configure on the wireless LAN controller. And we want to request a new IP address. As you can see, it failed to be assigned an IP address, so we're going to change to static and back to DHCP. Okay, and it looks like it's successfully connected, but it is using the HR access point. Okay, no problem there. So let's do the same for laptop. Okay, so on the laptop, no, here on the laptop we have to do something first. As you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. This laptop, it already has this NIC interface, so we have to remove this NIC first to connect a new wireless NIC. So let me zoom out and just power off the laptop and drag and drop this NIC and drag this one, the wire link sys module, and we're going to drag and drop these into this place, and we're going to power on the laptop. Okay, so now let's go to config wireless, and we should have SSID. Okay, let's change the SSID to be Wi-Fi Office, and we want to change the authentication to WPA2 PSK, and let's set our pre-shared key to be CCIE and request a new IP address. As you can see, it failed, so let's change to static and back to DHCP. Okay, and it's successfully connected. So actually, let's see if we can reach our default router. So can we ping 172.16.0254? And we can. So what about 201? We can. Okay, so our laptop is able to reach wired device. What about the tablet? So what is the tablet IP address? Let's see, it should be what, 06. Can we reach 06? And we can as well. So everything looks okay. Now let's do the same thing on the last laptop. So first, power off, remove this NIC, drag and drop, power on, config wireless 0, and here we want to change to Wi-Fi Office, pre-shared key to be CCI 65745, and let's request a new IP address, and it should be successful. Okay, and it was. So let's see just if we can reach other devices. So 172.16.06. Okay, and it can reach other devices. So you can see that's very easy to deploy a wireless network using Cisco Packet Tracer. Now there are certain scenarios where you might be required to assign a different SSID for each access point, and we can actually do this on Cisco Packet Tracer. So I'll leave this as a homework for you, and in case you don't make it, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be making another video on how to do it using Cisco Packet Tracer. And also, spoiler, I'll be making another video on how to deploy a Cisco wireless network, but using real network devices. Now, if it is something that interests you, just hit the like button and subscribe to be notified when I deploy the new video. Now, I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one.